Welcome to everyone. We got Jamal Graham here again for Cage Warriors 147 Unplugged. Unfortunately, as well as you know, the bout between Shadidul Hag and Sam Chris is cancelled, but I hope all other bouts are going to proceed. Jamal, thanks again for being our guest. So,
no problem, man.
Oh, this is a nice Hawaiian piece of clothes.
Yeah, man, it's a nice one. I'm bringing back my roots from you know, kind of like with America. It's actually a Panama hat, you know. It's very traditional, but yeah, I'm rocking it, man. I'm trying new stuff, you know, on this show, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah.
That's looking great, man. It's really looking great. Such a great fashion. So, which is going to be the first fight for us? You said that some bouts are cancelled. Which is going to be the first one?
Yep. So I did say this on my channel, but the event's been split into two different parts. So we're going to cover the fights in a bit of a weird order based on the website. But the first fight is Paddy Wilkinson and Milton Alfonso Cabral. I'm going to be going with Paddy Wilkinson here. I remember, Vlad, me and you broke down Cabral's fight with George McManus back in the Welsh card. And I think we both might... No, actually, I think you might have picked McManus to win. I think I picked Cabral, and obviously you would end up being right. So he did look a bit off in that fight. McManus was out for a long time, and he came back and still quite easily beat Milton Alfonso Cabral. So I think if he can do that for a long way off, I think a good prospect and a young prospect who's fought good competition, I think that Paddy Wilkinson can do it. And I think he can probably get this one done inside the distance with a submission, rear naked choke in the second round, in my opinion.
I think I'm going to back you up with that one. I would also try to go with Paddy, especially... I do believe that he has a good ground game. I do believe he has good top control, and especially that great body triangle, and especially it's locked in tight. So, makes sense to fish for a rear naked choke, but the submission win would actually be decent if I got to pick a side, and I assume I'm going to go with Paddy. So, which would be the next one?
The next fight up is Bakhtiar Oryakhail versus Ollie Sarwa. I'm going to be leaning with the underdog here, Bakhtiar Oryakhail. He was on a very good streak, undefeated in his career before taking on Kelvin Loughran and Cage Warriors. He's had a couple fights cancelled with Cage Warriors with a couple experienced guys like Abdul Chowdhury, which puts a decent light on how the Cage Warriors matchmakers look at him. But Ollie Sarwa, impressive, but I'm just not feeling the same kind of level of talent. Maybe not talent, but more just the competition and trust from their team to give them good competition-wise. So I think I'm going to lean with Bakhtiar Oryakhail here by, I'm going to say split decision because I do think there's a lot of promise in Ollie Sarwa, but I think right now, at this point in their careers, I think that Oryakhail should be able to get this one done.
I didn't know this fight is set, so I will have to follow you. For this fight, I really didn't know it's set.
Okay, that's yeah, I think it was added quite recently, but yeah, next fight on card is Adam Darby versus Musha Zlani. I'm going to be going with the Irishman here again, Adam Darby. It's a tough fight though, because I'm pretty sure Musha Zlani is a bigger favourite, but obviously you agree with me in this one. I see a lot of promise in Adam Darby here as an underdog, and like I said in my video, he's a very good prospect, a lot of good caliber competition. I'm not going to say anything bad about Musha Zlani. I do rate him, but just technique wise, and he's a big guy as well for the weight class. I'm going to lean with Adam Darby by, I'll say a close decision, maybe like a unanimous 29-28, but a good fight nonetheless.
I would rather go with fight goes the distance. I think this is the clash of two very, very much even fighters. You know, it kind of reminds me on odds. If I could make the odds, I would probably say it's a pick 'em like Fialho Salikov in UFC, something like that. But I would probably lean Darby via very, very close, razor close decision. But it kind of reminds me of odd line between Salikov and Fialho.
Very good shout there from the boy, Vladimir. Next fight up is a light heavyweight. Daniel Ladero versus Matty Byfield. I'm going to be going with the Englishman, Matty Byfield here. Not a lot of guys at light heavyweight competing in Cage Wars. Obviously, most recently we had Andrew Clamp lose to Chuck Campbell, as I predicted, and also your man, the Baltic Gladiator, Modestas Pekauskas, get the win against Lee Chadwick. I'm going to lean with Matty Byfield here. The caliber of competition hasn't been too great, but neither has it been for Daniel Ladero, the Spaniard. But I think just physicality-wise, and at bigger weight classes, you know this. You know, the bigger guy you are, you don't have to be so much technical as just physically gifted and powerful. And I think there are a lot of physical gifts and a lot of just raw, naturally good athleticism for Matty Byfield. So I think he wins this one by, I'll say like a second round TKO is what I think.
I'm also going to win with the guy from England because I do believe that Ladero is overrated. That when I've seen his opponents and compared to Byfield's opponents, I mean, people are going to say 4-1-0, but if you lose to a great guy, it is not a loss for me. It depends on the competition. It depends on the fighters and about Ladero's opponents, he hasn't fought extremely high-level competition, so it would be normal to pick the English guy for the victory, at least for me, I believe. I don't know how odds are going to look like, but I assume he's going to be the underdog. But even if he's not the underdog, I'm fishing for the English guy.
Same here, man. We've got a very good take on that one. So I'm assuming this will be the main event now of part one, seeing as Creasy Hack's cancelled. It is the man that we both interviewed. It's the beast, Matt Bonner, taking on Alan Carlos. I was DMing Matt Bonner a bit before this fight. He actually brought up the fact that Carlos, he rocked Charlie Ward and Bellator, he rocked Jack and Manson, but I'm going to be siding with our boy Matt, the beast Bonner, to get this one done. And he actually said himself that he wants to get a first round KO or TKO. But I'm going to lean with him by the classic Matt Bonner performance. First round rear naked choke. It's the next gen signature submission, the rear naked choke. And Matt Bonner's one of the best guys at that gym, along with Paddy the Baddy and Nathan Fletcher at getting up that rear naked choke. So I think he gets this one done by first round submission. But regardless, I'm very confident in our guy Matt Bonner gets one done.
I'm actually worried because his opponent is experienced. This could be one of the greatest tests of his career. I mean, Matt Bonner's been through wars. We know that he's been through wars. I'm going to lean with him. But, man, let's be honest. He is not fighting a newbie. He's fighting a very, very experienced guy. And first of all, if this fight advances into later rounds, this could be a problem. I just hope Matthew is not going to guess.
Yeah, Matt Bonner, he's got a very good cardio. He's went 5 rounds. He went 4 rounds against Frederick Hart, so I don't see him gassing. But moving on to part 2 of this card, we have Omran Shaban, the Lebanese gorilla, versus George McManus. I picked against him last time. I'm going to pick him against here as well. I'm going to go with Omran Shaban. I see a lot of promise with this guy, especially I rewatched that fight just a couple hours ago against Jack Dadames. Very composed in the feet, good switch kicks with the body, and he's got a very good ground game, dangerous, a lot of good scrambles, and I think McManus' only path to victory really in his career is to get you down, submit you, or wear you out for 3 rounds. And I just don't really see him being able to submit or out-grapple for long periods of time on Shaban. He's a very, very skilled grappler, a very big, strong guy as well, but has a very long limbs as well. He's got a very good base for a welterweight grappler. So I can see Omran Shaban keeping McManus off him and probably getting like a decision win or maybe a TKO in the second or third round.
I do believe with picking the Finnish guy, but to be honest, I believe he has the better feel for the distance, better angle changing, good scrambles. As long as he keeps the fight standing, it shouldn't be a problem for him. But if the fight gets dragged to the ground, as well as you said, McManus might have a chance. But I'm going to go also with the Finnish guy.
Yep, so moving on up the card, we have Jan Cohagens versus Eric De Silva. I'm going to bleed him with the Belgian Jan Cohagens here. I brought this up in my video. I really do rate a win over Kieran Lister. I know Kieran Lister's been in a bit of a downward spell in his career, but I genuinely do think Kieran Lister's quite underrated. And beating him in the way he did says a lot about him to me. But De Silva's experience, he's trained a lot of different gyms. He's been a lot of companies like Brave CF and stuff like that. But I just don't think he looked that good against Chris Bungard. And I think that if you're struggling with Chris Bungard, who isn't at the top tier of lightweight cage warriors, I think you could lose and maybe get finished or just about skiff pie to a decision lost against a talented guy in Jan Cohagens here. So I'm going to lean with Cohagens win this one by, I'll say a 29-28 unanimous decision is what I'll go from that fight.
Honestly, this Belgian guy scares the shit out of me, man. He's so unpredictable. I would rather go with fight not going the distance for this one.
Fair. Next up is, I'm very much looking forward to this fight. The middleweight fight between Will Curry and Michael Shamu. Both guys have been calling for this fight. I'm going to go with my guy here, Will Drago Curry. I'm a big fan of his. I was rewatching Chumo's fight, and he's very dangerous early, but he can be put off balance. He can, the way Chamu throws his kicks, he can leave himself on one leg, which is not a good thing to do against a dangerous grappler, a big, strong guy, 6'3" at middleweight, freak athlete, Will Curry. So I think he take advantage of that, and I'm going to actually lean with Will Curry getting this one done by a knee bar at the end of the first round after Chumo throws a bit of a wild kick. Curry catches it, takes him down, and rolls with it and gets a knee bar, because he's one of the only. Will Curry's one of the only guys in MMA who actually does go for leg locks as well. I remember him after his last fight with Nagos Kanasauskis asking to train with Gordon Ryan to improve his leg lock game. So that's what, I mean, I don't think I actually got that training, but it's nice to see him doing that. He also trains with your boy, Modestas Bukowskis. Those two are very good friends. So yeah, I'm going to lean with Will Curry here by first round submission.
I'm also going with Will Curry potentially via submission in some aspects of the game, but only in some aspects of the game. He kind of reminds me of Claudio Pudas, but improved version of Claudio Pudas. And improved version of Claudio Pudas.
Yeah, it's a good point. It does go for leg locks, but I think Curry's a bit more polished in the feet than Puelis. But moving on up the card, Morgan Charrier versus Daniel Bazant. No brainer for me. I'm going to be going with the last pirate, Morgan Charrier here. He was supposed to fight Albert Diaz in the card in Rome. Fight got cancelled the day of the card, and he's going to be pissed off. Full of piss and vinegar will be Morgan Charrier, the last pirate. And I think he wins this one by, I'm going to say TKO in the first round, lands a body shot and finishes him off against the cage with like punches, elbows and knees. And I'm not going to completely write off Bazant because from what I've seen, he's got a good record. He's fought a bunch of good guys in Croatia and stuff like that. But for how young he is, and because I think Charlie's only like 26, 27, he's fought a lot of good guys. He's got a lot of experience, 5 rounds in cage wars against Vucenic and Hughes. Goes fights both of them. I thought he actually beat Vucenic. And I think he gets this one done by first round TKO. Finally, we get to see the return of the last pirate. I'm very much looking forward to it.
I'll be honest with you, Bazant is a top-notch striker, but when it comes to submission defense, he got submitted by Robert Ruhala in KSW, and he is FNC champion, which is a local Croatian promotion. He used to win FNC title, and now I believe fighting Morgan Charrier is a whole new different level. I believe Charrier is technically not good fighter for him, because Charrier is constantly keeping you off distance, you know. Charrier is constantly moving forward, backward. It's very, very high. It's very hard to find range against him. So technically, I believe that's a very bad fight for Bazant, and I'm gonna win Morgan Charrier. I don't know whether it's gonna be stoppage or not, because Bazant can pretty much take a beating. I've seen that in FNC. He took a lot of beating, but he is vulnerable to submissions and he is vulnerable to great movements. And Morgan Charrier is Mr. Great Movement, so I believe Morgan Charrier gets this done.
Agreed. Moving on to the main event for the lightweight title. A bit of a hard fight for me to predict because one of them, I'm a very big fan of George Hardwick, and on the other hand, of course, I'm a Scotsman. I'm going to be rooting for Chris Bungard, but I do believe that the king of the chicken parmo, George Hardwick, gets it done. He's got butter hands. I think he gets this one done. I'm going to say, honestly, by first round body shot. We've seen him get body shot finishes against Kyle Driscoll, against Dean Truman. And the way Chris Bungard strikes, sometimes he does leave his leg up in the air. I think he can maybe catch the kick, come in, kind of like Piotr Garner, maybe like Jose Aldo, come in with a guard up high and then bang and rip to the body. And I think we could see, honestly, a first round brutal body shot finish for the current champion, George Hardwick, in my opinion.
I do believe that clinching game goes in the favor of Chris Bungard, and I do believe the ground game might actually go in the favor of Chris Bungard, so I think I'm going to fish for the underdog in this one. I know we might see an early stoppage by George Hardwick, but the cardio of a Scottish guy is also good, from what I've seen, pretty good. I don't know how he fights in 5 rounds, but in 3-rounder, it's very good. So this time I'm going to believe in miracles.
I hope so, man. I mean, I'd like to see it, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Hardwick, so you never know. But yeah, Bungard, I do agree. I think Bungard's got a better ground game, but getting Hardwick to the ground is the big question because we've seen Kyle Driscoll couldn't get Hardwick to the ground, so it's really got to test the takedowns of Chris Bungard, especially now that he's not training with Paul Craig as much. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, that was the whole card, man. Looks like a pretty much decent submission. Oh, let's go.
Subscribe to the boy Vladimir Vlad, UFC Celebrities and Classic, and subscribe to the Jamal MMA series, guys. Come on, let's go.
Oh, let's subscribe, man. And subscribe to Jamal MMA series. Don't forget to do it. Yeah, let's go. My shoulder is a bit better, but I still can't. I still can't do this, but I'm better. If you've seen my TikTok videos, I still can't throw with my right hand. Unfortunately, I still can't use it, but it's gonna be better. I'm glad your health is fine, man. At least you're in a mood today. Let's subscribe to Jamal MMA series. Man, you're going to have a decent number of subscribers and followers until the end of the year. I'm gonna put it now to creation. We'll let you know. Maybe the premiere will air tomorrow, maybe today. I will let you know.
Sounds good, man. Hopefully we get to... I'm assuming we're on 46 subs. I think we can get to 50 subs before the end of the year. I think that's doable. But yeah, and hopefully... sometime soon we get to hear a bit of an update on the fight between yourself and Jason Fire in Scotland. I'll definitely be attending that fight in the corner and carrying the Serbian-Bulgarian flag to the ring, to the octagon in support of lads.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Otis. All right, catch you later, man. Have a great day.
Good stuff, man. See you later, man.